and thank you for choosing Love's Flights.
Hey, you Composing Gloves here, and today we're going to be talking about the 1-5 chord progression. This is a full progression. It's technically, we could call it a cadence as well, but we haven't talked about cadences, and I wanted to do a video specifically on the 5 chord, and I discovered that I'm just going to end up saying stuff about the 1-5 progression. So, the 1 and 5 chord go back a long ways. They're friends, they're buds, they're the crybabies in the family. They hang out together. They eat sushi on Tuesday together. Like, they just don't see one without the other very often. And so, it's important for us to understand this delicate relationship they hold in this musical ecosystem. So what am I, Jonas, are you freaking talking about? You high or something? It's the 1 chord is the most important chord. When we pick a scale, at this point, the 1 chord's most important. It's just generally like, that's just a general thing. It's just known. It's most important. We picked our scale and stuff, so we specifically make the 1 chord the most important. But there's this other chord out there. It's called the 5 chord. It's the second most important. It shares some relationships with the 1 chord that are kind of cool. So let's talk about this a little bit more. So here we have a 1 chord. Oh yeah. That right there moved my soul. And then here's a 5 chord. Look, it's built off the 5th tone. Look at that. And if you'll see this, these two things are a whole step away from these. And that sets up some very nice intervallic relationship. But the harmonic relationship between the two is the 5 is always going to want to pull to the 1. They're called consonant. So I just felt like I had something stuck in my hair, but I think I just touched my mic. So, okay, so that's really interesting. What's this for? Well, I mean, like, this is a pretty basic idea, but so many people don't use it to its fullest potential. And well, unless you do pop and stuff, then you probably overkill some of its most basic potential. So there are basically, these chords are consonant, and the 4 chord is another consonant chord. However, it's a little strange when we get into different inversions, but we're making, general pop, EDM, whatever. We're not like getting that crazy as of yet about chord progressions. But here's what it sounds like. So we play a 5 to a 1. Oh, that's nice. Like they just call out for each other. We could play another 5 to 1. For example, from F, actually, yes, from, well, that was a 5 to 1 down. 1 to 5 works nice too. But it's generally 5 to 1. Like what we're going to be talking about right now is mostly going from the 5 chord to the 1 chord. So here we have like a C chord. That's, I'm thinking backwards. Okay, let's play a C chord to an F chord. That's another 5 to 1. Oh, they like each other. They're friends. They hang out. Let's do like a minor chord, yeah? Let's do a G minor to D minor. They're just good friends. Normally they're referred to as major. 5 in the major key is major. So, there's all these kind of cool relationships. Now, that's the basic understanding that we need right now, is that the 5 hangs out there. I said something in the other video that I kind of like. They have these 2 cups, and there's like, those cups they used to talk into, and they have a string to the other cup. And so one person talks to the other person. It's like that. Like the 5 chord's always talking with the 1 chord. Like a lot of music just dances around this relationship, and the better the dance, more intricate it is. Usually the more sophisticated people will call it, if you do it well. So there's a couple other tips and tricks here that we're going to be talking about a little bit more, but you can start to introduce inversions. For example, this inversion of C major to this inversion of G, which are both root position, is quite a large jump. You're going to be going, like, let me go down an octave. Like if piano players, I happen to be a stride player, so I don't mind enormous jumps all that much, as long as, it depends on how fast they are. But a lot of piano players move at stepwise motion, so playing stuff like this may not be the funnest thing in the world for them. But that's kind of irrelevant because of other instruments, so sometimes it's just is not an issue. But we could be nicer. We could move them closer. So for example, this C is now way closer to this, and it resolves down to the B. Now we're starting out on C. Let's do the 5 chord first. I don't know why I made that huge thing about we're gonna be doing 5 to 1, and then I put it 1 to 5. Like, what the heck, dude? Okay, so this C is very close to, so it resolves up. So we go from B to C. So that's really nice. And look at this. In the major scale, this is a half step relationship, and this is so beautiful. Like, this is a half step is amazing. So okay, and then we have E to D. So that's a whole step, you know, not as, you know, amazing, but still pretty freaking close and amazing. And then this one, look at this. This one stays the same note. This is however, this inversion's a little funny. So we're not even going to be dealing with weird inversion stuff till we get to like part writing. So I'm just going to sort of put that stuff aside. But right now, this is a very close voicing is what we would call this. We'll talk about voicing again later. But you can move the notes up and down the octaves for the different inversions to create a smoother transition. So you see that sounds, well, that sounds really nice. And so you can play a little melody on top. We can, you know, we're in C major, but we're around the G. So this is also known as a particular kind of cadence that we'll talk about later. But here we'll put down, let's see here. We'll put down one nice little thing. We'll go off the beat. And this is, we'll do a passing tone to a, we'll do one of those. What the heck? And we'll go, and then we'll resolve it real nicely right at the very end. Now, of course, this has a little, like, I'm not, like, composing full-blown right now, but, you know, it's whatever. So, and, of course, my velocities, you know, these can be softer, do a bunch of other things, but this is very nice. Now, let's see what happens. I'll go a little bit further. Let's say, like, we play C. What if we play all the nearest inversions, so the closest voicings we can get for all the fifths? Let's just do a couple. So we'll play, like, C, and then the next one is G. Now, I'm at the lower end of my keyboard, so I can't play the closest inversion. So the next closest one for me is this one, which sounds pretty nice. And then from G we have D, which is, in this case for me, it is the closest inversion on my keyboard is this one. It's like, hey, it sounds nice. Then we can go to A. Hey, and then to E. Oh, I don't have a B down there. I guess I have to go root. Hey, that sounds pretty nice. So we could go to B. And then from B, we go to F sharp. From F sharp, we go to C sharp. Hey, so you see, we have this, like, it's a very nice thing, circle of fifths, very kind to us this way. Now, if you were to do it so you just jump around, so we'd be like C major, G major. It still sounds good, but it's like D major, A major, E major. But all in root position isn't quite as nice as this other inversion thing. So I'm going to have a video for this later, but I thought, you know, I'd share that with you. But the 5 to 1, ooh, man, these guys, you just heard, they share their symbiotic relationship. If you have any questions about this, let me know. Subscribe, and have a blessed day. And this is my final product. Now, you could get a ton of different sounds out of this by changing the ratios. That's just one ratio change. If we change the modulator ratio, it gets really weird.